What's up, guys? In today's video, I want to make a follow-up to a recent video I made a few weeks back on selling crypto, when I plan to sell my crypto. And no, now is not the time. And some of you may say, but John, I already sold all my crypto, I already left. Okay, well, I can't help you, apparently. And for those who think the bull run's over, this video may not be for you, because you're going to come back naturally when the market recovers and realize you were too early to leave the market. But if you've been around this market, if you're hanging around, if you're still here and you want to make maximum profit, I'm going to tell you exactly what I plan to do in a little bit more detail in the previous video, with giving you guys some gauges, right? So the first thing is this. I plan to get out before the summer of this year. My goal is to hopefully get out 80 to 90% in May, and then play with 10-20% for the rest of the year, if not longer, if the market persists. The reason being, if I take 80% or more out, my risk is essentially minimal. And let's just say I'm sitting on a certain target, that 10-20%, the goal is to flip that now and turn that into potentially 7 figures as well. So that's what I plan to do. So let's just say you're an investor now and you're at 100K profit come May of this year, and you also want to do the same. You would take out roughly 80K, put into a bank, put into a CD where it's locked up, where you can't touch it. Otherwise, you put into a bank, you may be tempted to buy it again, right? Put into a bank and lock it up for 6 months or something, and then play with that 20K or so on the exchanges, the hot wallets, and start playing with different plays. You put that money into a low cap. At that point, that low cap 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 X's or more, you just flip that money and essentially have now 2 portfolios. One that's already in your bank that made you a ton of money, and now that second one off that little investment you put in. That's a win-win approach. The mistake many investors will make from now until then and later on this year is they won't take profits at all. They're going to wait until they feel it's the absolute top for them, which many think they're geniuses. And as soon as they realize the top is already in, which you won't realize that until after the fact that it's tanking, they'll attempt to either say, I'll wait to get it back, which makes it worse, or they'll sell and they'll take less profit than they initially planned for. So for you, let's just say you have price targets for specific crypto at certain targets. If I see Bitcoin dominance go down to where, I think it might below 50% or even 45% by May, we'll see. If I see it happen, and let's just say my altcoins are rallying, but they're not where they are to be expected to be for my, price predictions, whatever, it doesn't matter. If I see the dominoes are falling into a row to where I think Bitcoin is being sold for profit to buy these altcoins, I am taking profits on those altcoins regardless if they accomplish that goal. Now, granted, if some coins are only up like a 2x, I probably won't do it. Maybe at the very least, I'll moonbag it. But if we're talking about like certain plays are up like, I don't know, a 15x, but they're supposed to be up a 40x by that point, I'm still going to take that 15x, right? Again, this is going to be personal preference for you. I'm just following through with what I plan to do to maximize my safety in this market and getting out before the rest do, right? Because in this market, it's about you making money before your peers do, right? It's not we're all going to make it together. It's you getting out and someone right there on a spot is buying your bag that you're selling. So they're essentially losing on the spot that you're winning, right? And I said before, profit's profit. The goal is not to always make a 50 to 100x. It's to make the 10x's, the 20x's, the 30x's, hell, even a 5x, or even less in some cases, right? So that's my plan. And then, from there, I'll look to either reinvest at some point, but I'm going to keep playing with that 10, 20%. A lot of this is going to be probably distracting to many of you who are watching during that time. You're going to see many different probably YouTubers say the top's not in, hold. You're going to see your own, probably your family, your friends, your peers say, what are you doing? You're making a mistake. You're even going to see people make fun of me when I get out with profits saying, John, you're an idiot. It's going higher and higher and higher. And maybe it does. But again, the goal for me at this stage especially is not to make maximum profit. It's to make profit in general. And like I said in the last video I made on this topic, take you to the next status of financial freedom. So if you start in the market with 5 figures, turn it to 6. If you started with 6, turn it to 7. If you started with 7, turn it to 8. If you started with 4, turn it to 5. Just turning $1,000 into $5,000 or $10,000 is a huge win in this market. Don't let anyone tell you differently. If you were in stocks, turning that same $1,000 into, say, $2,000 would take you on average about 8 years, which is a very long time. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't have that kind of time to wait around unless you're in your 20s and you have nothing better to do, right? So a lot of us are here to try to leave our jobs, become financially free, have more time for ventures, side hustles, maybe travel more, spend more time with family. The way you do that is by not only just buying the dips now, but having a plan in place like this where you can actually make profit. And I go more in depth in my research course on Discord. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the pinned comments down below as to where I'm putting my money, not just the bank, but like certain asset classes and how I plan to invest it a little more in depth. But again, this is going to help the majority of you who are kind of thinking of just winging it. If you're thinking of winging this, you're not going to do it to a T. You think you have a perfect plan in your head, but in reality, it's not going to get accomplished the way you think. You highly underestimate how you're going to feel in that moment when you see your crypto pumping and how hard it is to press sell. See, it's very easy to press buy in this market. It's very hard to press sell when it's green. Pressing sell when it's red is easy. Pressing sell when it's green is not, because you feel like you're on a roller coaster that won't end. The rush of endorphins, the feelings, everyone telling you it's going higher. So this is why I say you can't trust people during this time. You got to just make the call yourself to get in and get out. Whether it's a 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x. Remember, all your peers, they're going to have different entries than you. You buy a play at 50 mil market cap, they may buy that same play at 300 mil. And then one of your neighbors who just finds out about crypto from their barber, they may get in 3 billion market cap and then say, oh, great, I'm in early. And then maybe it hits like 5 billion, then tanks. So you can't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't compare yourself to me, your other peers, your family, your friends. Again, this is all about positioning and getting in, getting out. Unless you're here for the tech of crypto and you want to be a crypto enthusiast and donate to the developer funds of certain cryptos and be here for 30 years, kudos to you. By all means, you do that. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not here for the tech and to be here and say, it's the best crypto since reserve currency, since sliced bread, right? I'm here to make money in 1 year or less, probably 6 months or less, and then get the hell out and come back in and do it again. If that's also your goal, then start looking for moves to put yourself closer to achieving that goal. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. Again, you got to make sure you have many different banks available. A lot of banks don't like crypto. That could change with Trump. If you have just one bank and your plan is to sell your 6-7 figure bag into all this one account, you might get flagged, and then your funds might get frozen, and you're going to regret that move. So a smart move in this case, make sure you sell slowly. Again, I explained this in my course, slowly over time. Don't put like 100K in one shot. Have multiple banks, even multiple spots to put your money, because in the worst case scenario, one of your banks doesn't like what you're doing and freezes your account, you have other places to park your cash when you make profits. So always make sure you have more than one bank available. Make sure you have a plan in place as to how to redistribute that profits. I told you an example already. You can lock it up in a CD, so that way you're not tempted to sell it again and be greedy and buy your crypto and get rugged at the top. You'd be surprised by how many people do that. They take profits, they put it in their bank, and somehow someone tells them, hey, you missed a great opportunity, we're going higher. They get convinced, they have fear of missing out, they buy again, and they get rugged. So again, you want to make sure you fight the emotional side of this market. It's very hard to say to have no emotions. Humans are emotional by heart, by nature, so it's in our blood. But if you can limit that to an extent and be logical and have a plan in place, it definitely helps you, right? The more prepared you are in this market, the better off you'll be to succeed. The less prepared you are, the more likely you are to fail, like 98% of your peers. So very quick video. We can definitely go in depth more on this topic if you guys are interested, but I just wanted to leave you guys with this piece of information. If it helped you in any way, please leave a like, really helps so much. With that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.